Be on with both. Okay. Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday, May the 5th, 2026. Some people call it Cinco de Mayo. And it's also the off, what do they call, off calendar election night tonight. Polls should be closing in a half hour or so. But anyway, the time is 6:30 p.m. I'm John DeWanzik, and this is the regular meeting of the Avon Lake Board of Municipal Utilities. With me here tonight on the board is to my right, Mr. Ricky and Mrs. Schnabel, and to my left, Mr. Mondello and Mr. Rush. Tonight's meeting is being live streamed on Facebook and YouTube. And if you're in the audience there, there's an opportunity for public input, which will be read by, I believe tonight, Mr. Logan. Are you the,
I still will.
okay, still Mr. Urinich will be monitoring that, and we'll read any comments that come up at that time. If you're in the audience, which no one is tonight so far, you have an opportunity at the same time to come up and give 3 minutes of public input. With a full board here tonight, it takes 3 votes to make a motion pass. And all votes will be taken by voice vote, with the exception of a motion to go into executive session, which one is expected tonight. That will be done by roll call vote. At the table tonight, we have staff members Robertino Kamevsky and Bill Logan. To my right, in substitute for Mr. Monroe, who was on vacation, we have second in command Chief of Utility Operations Greg Urinich, who is acting Chief Utility Executive tonight. Since I started speaking, we have had enter the room Mr. Anthony Coyne from outside counsel and Mr. William Zimmerman, citizen of Avon Lake. Did I cover everything?
Yes, I believe you did.
Okay, so moving on, tonight we have 2 sets of minutes to approve. One is from the April 7th meeting, and one is from the April 21st meeting. So first of all, is there any comments on the April 7th meeting minutes revision? Hearing none, it is approved as submitted. Now we have the April 21st meeting minutes. Are there any comments on that? Hearing none, they are approved as submitted. We do review them on our own, so it's not that anybody read them. Let's see. The next item is public input. First of all, is there anything out in the world? Next of all, Mr. Zimmerman, do you have public input tonight?
Sure, anytime. William Zimmerman, beautiful Avon Lake. So I'm trying to read over the minutes just to see, are either of these the ones that included the fact that you were now going to go after Lorco for the $15 million that they owe us?
There were some change, I believe. This is normally not a back and forth, but to answer your question, I believe the April 7th minutes were revised based on something you requested.
Okay.
And that's why it's now that we're approving it, because it wasn't previously approved because you didn't find it satisfactory. So.
Mr. Chairman, the minutes do speak for themselves. So.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Coyne. Go ahead, Mr. Zimmerman.
Thank you so much. So I've done a little more digging, and not only is Mr. Monroe board member for Lorain County, but he and Mr. Urinich are on a committee that is trying to steer projects in Lorain County. I don't believe that this is their duties, that they are outside their scope. And I believe that these are possible infringements under Article 2 of the Ohio Constitution. So I'm sure that Mr. Phillips will continue to investigate and we'll be able to come back to see y'all or file a lawsuit, one or the other. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Zimmerman. Okay, anything else on the outside world? Okay. All right, moving along, we have correspondence. Mr. Urinich, is there anything you would like to report?
I do not have anything at this time.
Thank you, sir. Next item is expenditures on your goldenrod sheets. Would someone like to make the motion to approve, April 17th to April 30th, 2026 expenses?
I will.
Mr. Ricky,
I move to accept Avon Lake Regional Water expenses dated April 17th through April 30th, 2026 as presented.
thank you, Mr. Ricky. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mrs. Schnabel, discussion. I have a couple of things if nobody's jumping up to volunteer. Mr. Urinich, I see repeated expenditures, I guess, divided up among different categories, but let's start with number 36 on Fund 723. Boreal Consulting Services and I don't know what CNT services, but ISO 9001, ISO 27001 down payment. It has your initials after it, so maybe you'd like to explain to the board what that's all about.
Can you tell me the number again? Sorry.
Number 36 on the second page,
Okay,
Fund 723.
perfect.
So as an organization, we are going to be pursuing various ISO International Standard Organization certifications. ISO 9001, which is just kind of the overall quality certification, and ISO 27000 is the cybersecurity. So we had interviewed, I believe, 4 different consultants that can assist us in this. Dave Barreau Consulting is a local firm that we felt would give us the attention we need. And so we're going to start working with him. Myself and Mr. Komevsky are going to have the kickoff meeting on Wednesday, May 13th. And once we get further along in that project, obviously we'll have some updates for the board.
You say this individual is named Dave Barreal, and what's his background that qualifies him to do this?
He's been doing this, I believe, for 17 years. And he's worked with companies in various industries. This is his first time as working with a public utility, but feels it's a very achievable goal, and he's going to take us through the process, up through the audit, and then we'll pursue the audit with ISO.
Okay, and first of all, are any of these companies that he's consulted with still in business?
Yes.
Oh, that's good to hear. Secondly, what kind of time frame are we talking about?
6 to 9 months is the time frame he had given us. Once we review documentation that we have, SOPs, things like that, we'll have probably a better idea. But we had initially wanted to go for, I believe there's a total of 4 different certifications. The ones that we did not include were the safety and asset management. So once we get through these, we're going to make the determination if it's a process we feel we can manage internally ourselves after going through it, or we would reach out for a different contract.
And if I can imagine, give me a moment, Mr. Rush. If I can imagine the process, it's something like he's gonna come in and ask you, what are you doing about A, B, C, and D, and these things, and you're gonna show him, here's what we're doing, etc. And he's gonna say, well, you probably need to do that in addition to this, and so on. And eventually you have a full packet to apply to International Standards Organization. And if you did that and everything was in order, how long would that process be?
That I don't have an answer for yet. I don't believe it was very lengthy. Obviously, they would have to review all of our documentation. They would perform an audit and make a determination from there if there's any deficiencies that we would have to address. But Mr. Burrell was pretty confident once that he is done guiding us through up to that point. It should be not very negative.
And would it be unreasonable to ask for a monthly update on where we are with that process as part of the regular meeting?
No, we would plan on giving regular updates. Once we kind of get started and have this initial kickoff meeting, we'll have a better idea of, I guess, the time frame.
Okay.
We'll track our progress.
Maybe sometime in the near future, Mr. Barilla can come in for a work session and just kind of go through his process that I, kind of imagined. And we'll have a good idea what you're talking about when it comes up in the meeting. But this is something that we have wanted to pursue for a good 5-6 years, maybe even before COVID, where all time is, broken. But it has not progressed to where, we should be, but it's our intention to be recognized as a quality organization for the benefit, not only of the employees, but also like the client base in general, that, when things are done, they're done right. And that's what we're aiming for. Hopefully set the pace for other organizations within the municipality, and those who we serve may also want to take it up. So we think it's a good thing. Sorry for my gaseous, expansive comments, but on one item, but Mr. Rush, please go ahead.
Yes, same item. Did we need to request for a qualification from several groups on this item, or does this fall under professional services? How did we arrive at this firm versus others?
We had requested qualifications from some various firms. We interviewed 3, 4. We interviewed 4.
Okay.
And we felt he was the most responsive. There was some that I felt would do a lot more of the work via Zoom or meetings online. We felt having somebody that could directly come out would be beneficial, especially going through it for the first time. If we were to require assistance in the future, perhaps we would pursue a different company. Because the one thing he does not do was I think he said the asset management. So that the asset management certification was something he's never undertaken. And at least as of now, he did not seem like he was ready to do that.
I was looking at the process. So you did have 4, you did score them, and you came up with a
Correct.
collectively through scoring, and that's important for the future.
Yep.
It's part of the quality process. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Urinich. Any other comments from the board on the motion to approve the expenses? Hearing none, we'll close discussion. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, the next item is the OWDA resolution number 2026-02. Mr. Urinich, why don't you explain that request and the motion being expected?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So as we move forward with our administrative building expansion, we have gone through the bidding process. That contract was contingent upon procuring funds through OWDA. We've completed all of the process except for they require a motion from our board authorizing us to actually take that money. So this is kind of the final step in that whole process. Mr. Logan, is there anything you wish to add?
No, just the board resolution. They need a legal letter, which we've got from the law director for the city, and a signed what they call a projection of revenues, which I've signed that. I'm just going to send it all over to them tomorrow, hopefully. But we got an email on Friday, I think, from OWDA saying everything's in order, just waiting for these documents.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Logan. Would someone like to make the motion? I will make the motion. I move for the passage of resolution number 2026-02 02 titled 2026 Administration Building Expansion Project. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Rush. Discussion.
Quick question.
Mr. Ricky.
How much is this for?
This is an authorization to apply for
The maximum amount of the loan OWDA has approved is $13,785,090.
So it's everything, it's all of it.
That would be everything that we had in the bid.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, if this was for all of it or just part of it, or.
We do not have to take all of it because it's really on a, as you go, we pay the contractor, we get reimbursed from OWDA.
Gotcha, all right, that's, I just
This
wondered.
was-
what-
Pay cash for.
We approved it last.
Okay, I
meeting, so
apologize.
We're really just signing the paper tonight, but you're
Gotcha.
authorizing me to sign the paper, so when we take a vote, I will act accordingly.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ricky. Anyone else? Okay, we'll close discussion. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Right.
Aye. The motion passes now. Well, I have to get my big felt, whatever Sharpie marker and sign it like the president. Actually, Tim has to sign it too, so. And we got ayes, we got 5, and nays, we got 0. Okay, there you are, Mr. Urinich. All right, next item is, I think it's a little bit complicated, so take it slow, Mr. Urinich, but demolition bid for some of the structures at the water filtration plant.
All right. So when we had first bid the entire project for the water filtration plant improvements, we had the demolition of some existing structures included as an alternate bid item. We had received a bid for that. Once the company started to get a little more involved, they realized that they had not included some significant items in the cost of their bid and were unable to perform that work. There were some hazardous material abatements that they did not take into account. So at the time, we had decided not to award it. A lot of that work could not be done while the construction was going on at the plant anyways. So now that we were nearing the end of that project, we had put out another bid. We received 6 bids. The apparent low bidder had also missed a couple of things in the specifications for the project. They did not take into account removing a lot of the foundation or underground pipe work that exists in the original filter building. So they did contact us the next day, said that they had made a mistake in their bid. And so we have proceeded to contact the next lowest bidder, and they were the original apparent low bid was much lower than the others, and we had kind of some questions initially, just seeing that kind of a discrepancy. But working with Monterelli Excavating out of Youngstown, their bid met all of the requirements. They were aware of everything that was required. So we're recommending the following motion for the board's consideration.
Okay, and perhaps Mr. You or Mr. Komevsky can explain to the board, have a picture of an aerial of the plant and show us what you're demolishing for this 934,000.
So I don't have a picture available at this time. I can bring one of those to the next meeting.
Can you identify by?
So in the original filter building, we're keeping the main front part of the structure, the original 1926 first 4 filters. The additional 8 filters that have been added on through various expansions, those are being demolished and removed. The storage building and what was original part of the treatment plant, there were some chemical feed tanks, the mixing chambers, rapid mix. The building just to the west of the original administration building, that is also going to be demolished. For the past however many years, it's been basically just used as storage. It is not part or connected to any of the treatment train at the plant. Right now, it's just kind of taking up space, and once we have the chlorine building cleaned out, that as well. So that'll open up a good section of the plant if we would need to add any additional filters. That
Okay, now there's a water tower at the plant. Is that included in this?
correct.
Glad I thought that. There's another building next to that.
That is our raw water building, and that's gonna stay. And just south of that, that would be our old North High Service Building, which kind of connects to raw water, and that is also going to stay.
Okay, so they're brick buildings, they're gonna stay there,
Correct.
but the water tower is coming down.
Water tower is coming down, and the old flocculation basins will be coming down. Which would be the high structure with dirt on the sides of it,
Okay,
that would be taken out.
I'm assuming that this water tower coming down will not be, pushed down like the one on Walker Road. I'm assuming a crane will lower it to the ground, and
Yes, it'll come down in pieces.
that's what I figured, because there's a lot of things around this one.
We don't want any kind of seismic issues going on over at the plant.
Okay, that helps a lot, Mr. Ricky.
Where's all the debris going? Where are they hauling it to? I mean, we've been hauling a lot of stuff to the power plant site as
I
fill,
believe it was in the contract for them to arrange for it.
take it off site. And we're not worried about anything, cradle to grave. There's nothing that's hazardous in any of these things. They're
You're
taking
drinking
down.
water. I
Pardon?
love it. You're drinking water.
I know, but I'm just asking. You don't want to hear about it down the road. That,
No.
that's provisions are made for that as well, that,
It would disposed up properly.
okay, that's all I ask.
I would say it's quite a bit less hazardous than the power plant. If that's what you're.
No, I'm just referring to a lot of UUI is dumping a lot of stuff at the power plant to fill a big hole in and things like that. I didn't know if we're using that site too to dump stuff.
That I don't know, but this is gonna be like junk, basically.
Well, there's a lot of junk sitting there yet too.
Right.
So, okay.
Mr. Kemetsky, you look like you're ready to say something.
Well, I would just wanted to just let Mr. Ricky know that there was a complete study done on the majority of that building, whether it was roofing tiles, the flooring, the paint, the caulking for the windows.
Sure.
They did a full report, and they know that they have to do remediation before they even take that down. So that
Gotcha.
is part of our demolition.
Because there's one thing in here, it talks about asbestos, and then we just don't want to dump that anywhere. That's
No.
why,
No.
just making sure that we're covering ourselves on some of this stuff, that's all.
But I think in this case, it's mostly incidental materials versus like,
Concrete and
they had like
brick and,
packs of asbestos, a couple feet wide going up the side of the, what was that building called, the metal one at the power plant? That was all asbestos in there.
okay,
I
thank
think
you.
they have it like in, as you said, roofing materials and things that they were commonly found in floor tiles and things like that.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Rush.
I was also assured that part of the contract is that the foundations come out too, so it's not just taking the surface stuff, so everything is underground.
And that's what was the big eye opener with the original bidder is when we saw the total amount, we knew that something wasn't right. So when we did reach out to them, they were made aware, and everything needs to go.
Okay, and I was also just noticed too that every one of the bidders was underneath the engineer's estimate.
When this is completed, then we'll go back to permanent gates and things of that nature.
Correct.
When do we expect that to happen?
Hopefully by October.
So by this time next year, everything's complete on this part of the water plant.
Correct.
Yes.
All right, any other questions? All right, there's a recommended motion. Who would like to do the job? One at a time?
I can. I will. I move to authorize the CUE to execute a contract with Materali. Is that how we say it? How do you? Materali.
Monterey.
Excavating Incorporated for demolition services related to various structures at the water filtration plant for the not to exceed amount of $934,000, plus an additional 10% contingency for any out of scope items related to the project in accordance with the engineer's certified bid tabulation dated April 22nd, 2026.
Thank you, Mrs. Schnabel. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Ricky. Further discussion? Hearing none, we'll close discussion. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay. Next item is Mr. Logan, investment of deposits. Mr. Logan has become, a revenue stream all his own.
Sir, I'll be asking the board to pass a resolution to amend Title 6108 of the regulations. It's investment of deposits. It just clarifies Section A as it's worded now, I believe, which will let us, and we've talked about this in previous board meetings last year. It will allow the board to invest in longer than just 1 year type maturities. So up to 5 years is the maximum, and I'm not recommending that, but 2 and 3 type investments that can lock in interest rates as the interest rates begin to fall, which they've not really done yet. To some extent they have, but within the next 6 to 9 months, we kind of feel they're going to fall a little more. And it might start making sense to take some of the currently $28 million we've got invested in Star, Ohio, and invest that in 2 or 3 year type treasury instruments at decent interest rates and lock it in. So just sort of a hedge. Would you like me to read the proposed? Okay. So basically I would replace, I'm proposing we replace Section A of that investment of deposits with the wording that says the investment portfolio shall remain sufficiently liquid to be able to meet all operating requirements that may be reasonably anticipated. In no event will investments be made in securities maturing more than 5 years from the date of purchase. All investment decisions with the maturity date beyond 1 year require board authorization prior to enacting the transaction. So prior to us physically instructing, and this would be primarily through Fifth Third Securities, but instructing Fifth Third Securities to purchase certain investments, I would ask for board approval. I don't know if that would require a resolution or not, more than likely just an approval from the board to proceed.
Well, here's what I have to say. I mean, I understand what you want to do, but I would consider before we vote to approve that, so not at this meeting, I would consider putting in something along the lines of any investment that is made beyond a standard period would have to be the result of board action, so that it doesn't give a free hand to the staff. In other words, the board says, okay, we approve. You'd say, hey, I got the greatest deal ever from Star, Ohio, or whatever. I think we should invest like this. The board would consider it and all that. So can we add language that makes it clear that anything beyond the standard investment period would be a board action?
And I guess we're calling that standard 1 year.
Right.
So it does say that in the amended language, Chairman.
Are you saying for anything under a year, you want to approve it too? Is that what?
No, just something longer than a year would have to be. a
That's what it
board
says.
Yeah.
That's how it reads.
That last sentence of Section A.
Okay.
Anything beyond a year we have to approve.
Star Ohio is a money market, so there's truly the maturities are daily.
Right.
Yeah, so we have no issue there. If we were to invest in, say, a 2-year treasury note, I would come to the board with a written request of some sort, asking the board to approve this investment.
That's what we would want.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, and obviously, I just went past, I think the Speedway had gas for $4.75. This could be an augury of inflation. So you don't necessarily want to invest in a fixed rate investment. for
Correct.
5 years.
We're not quite ready. I think sometime before the end of this year, I think it'll make some sense to maybe even by September or October to look at parking some of that money into 2 and 3 year type investments, depending on where rates are at that time, but I think they'll be a little lower.
Okay. All right, then, does anyone on the board have any heartburn about approving what we have here then tonight?
I think we need to go through B to ask some questions about that.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
We need to go through B.
Yeah, let me finish up with section B where we'd like to replace the first sentence of section B with the following. U.S. Treasury bills, federal agency securities, certificates of deposit, and the state treasury asset reserve, Star Ohio, shall be the primary investment instruments of the city for the benefit of Avon Lake Regional Water. That would replace the first sentence in section B, ideally.
So my question is, if you came up with something outside the primary investments, what happens then with the current language, even the new language?
If we came up with something outside of this
Correct.
scope,
Yes. Because you mentioned very specifically where you wanted to use the money as primary, but it sounded like there could be secondary.
I see the word primary.
That's the way I read it.
Yeah, if there were secondary investments that say that we had a strong interest in, we would probably need to come to the board and either amend this again, or at least have the board approve whatever those secondary investments might be. Honestly, I can't see anything at the moment that you would want to do outside of this sort of.
I can understand not changing the regulation by putting only, but at the same time, that maybe that language should be added that, any additional will require board approval. And I don't really want to
Just
add it now or.
Right, now that would make sense. I'd be fine with that.
How would you like to state it, Mr. Rush?
I'm just saying, maybe just a second sentence right after this. Any investments outside the named, the primary investment instruments require board approval.
Keep in mind also, we're following the city's investment policy.
Correct.
We're also following the Ohio Revised Code Section 135, and it limits you. There are some additional
Right. And it could change.
investment instruments.
But why change the regulation?
No, that's I'm okay with this if we.
Okay, so, perhaps, since this is going to be codified when we vote on it, would you like to, maybe go edit this and hand it out to everybody the way you want it? Or can we do it next time?
We can, I think.
That's probably a better idea.
I think the sentence we want to add, correct me, Mr. Rush, if I'm wrong, we would add a second sentence in section B saying, any investments outside of the named investments shall require board approval.
Would you agree, Mr. Rush, we should have this printed, like, as it will appear before?
It gives you a chance to refine the language if it needs refined at all. If you're okay with that, that's another 2 weeks gonna hurt anything.
That's fine.
Yeah, not trying to like drag our feet, but this becomes codified and then somebody comes along and says, well, you're not following your own guidance.
I am fine with that, Mr.
Yeah.
Chairman. That's
I
fine.
would try to call it earlier. I'm gonna discuss it.
It's okay. It makes sense. But I do appreciate the board understanding that this can let you diversify a little more with the reserves you've got currently all in Star Ohio.
Okay, so we'll table that till the next meeting.
It's fine.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Logan. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Not at this time, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next item is informational items, and typically we have the pleasure of Mr. Urinich for this. So, Mr. Urinich, please.
All right, so we're looking at the under drain. So at the bottom of each of the 4 new filters they are constructing, there's a structure that supports all the filter media and collects the filtered water. So in the past, we had used ceramic under drains. These are a polymer frame, so lighter weight. They all hook together. They'll install those at the very bottom before installing the filter media. But we've gotten to the point where they're getting ready to install those, and pretty soon we'll have the filter media installed. So they're making a lot of progress on that. This is looking over top of, I believe it's filters 25 and 27. They've completed applying primer to some of the areas, installed some of the electrical. In the next picture, you'll see they have finished the painting. These are 26, filters number 26 and number 28. They've insulated the piping that is the roof drain coming down in the middle. So they're making a lot of progress in that area of the plant. This is inside the new chemical feed structure, the sodium hypochlorite room. As you can see, there's a lot of electrical conduits, piping, heaters have been installed. They're looking, I believe it's in June that they're going to try to get everything ready for startup. They're focusing on the aluminum sulfate feed first. Once they get the aluminum sulfate structure complete and started up, then they can proceed with demolition of the existing equipment. In the basement where the alum feed is currently at, that is where the liquid lime chemical feed is going to be. So they can't proceed with anything on that until they get the alum started up in the new location, that equipment demolished. And here they're continuing. At the last meeting I had showed they were doing the trench for the conduit to run to the new filters. As I'd said, the motor control center was pretty much full of equipment. They needed a new electrical feed, so they were running a conduit to the north-south switchgear at the plant. Last time I showed they were heading north from the new filter area. They're now turning to the east, running over to the new switchgear though. Once they get the conduit laid, Great Lakes is doing the conduit, and then their electrical subcontractor will be pulling the wire for that, making those connections. Any questions on the water plants? Moving on to the Techwin project, we have received the new human machine interface module that is hooked up. The system is operating normally now. Everything is back to normal on that. Any questions on that project?
So it's operating,
It is operating.
everybody's happy.
Have you calculated cost yet? Or is that an ongoing process?
It is an ongoing process. We wanted to get
Got to get some good,
some continuous.
consistent data.
Yeah,
But we're ready to.
Right.
and we are tracking all that information. It's just, we need kind of the production to smooth out for a little bit so we can get some consistent production and
Power inputs and so on.
for the 2025 water bundle project, both UUI, Underground Utilities Inc. and KMU, they're really kind of focused on restoration of any areas that had been disturbed thus far. Now that we're getting some warmer temperatures, sunlight, and definitely plenty of rain for grass seed to really take hold. They're focused on restoring anything that's been disturbed up to this point. I believe this week UI will be finishing up transferring the services from the old main to the new one on Armor. And once KMU gets caught up with their portion of restoration, they're gonna start up again with the indoor meter relocations. They're at about 240. out of 419 completed. So they're looking to get back to that within probably about a week and a half.
Okay. Questions for Mr. Urinich? Okay, Mr. Urinich, I guess you're off the hook for that, but you're right back on the hook for CUO report.
Yes, I do have two things to report to the board. One of our infrastructure technicians, he had worked at the water plant as an operator, kind of transitioned into the infrastructure maintenance specialist, maintenance technician. He has passed his Ohio EPA Class 3 water supply operator test.
Very good.
He took that on April 24th, and he's still waiting for the official certificate, but he has passed the test. He obviously meets all the requirements, and we would just like to congratulate him on the initiative that he took to go out and achieve that license. That's second highest license you can get, and very good job by Mr. Poole.
Work, now typically, isn't there some kind of a stipend that goes along with that?
There is a stipend that goes along with that. He has been here long enough that he is already at the top of the steps. Typically, when an operator increases their license, they would also receive a step increase. He is at step 7 already, but he does get an additional stipend between the class 2 that he held and the class 3 license. So.
Okay. Well, and this is Mr. Poole,
Cool.
Cool.
Cameron Cool.
Okay. How do you spell that?
Kuhl.
Okay. Well, you know, we want to make sure that we make opportunities available to people that ambitiously pursue additional credentials that benefit us. So hopefully we have something in mind for him. Questions from the board?
We have one more.
Okay.
Mr. Jeff Cheeky. He was hired April 28th of 2025. He has completed his year. So he will be receiving a step increase from operator in training step 2 to OIT step 3 at $30.14 per hour. And then once he completes the experience requirement, then he would move into the operator space scale. But he has been doing a good job also. If you remember, he was a gentleman that he had never worked in this industry before. He had actually spent some time, he had spent 4 years in the Navy, and he had worked on the water treatment for the nuclear reactor on the aircraft carrier. So he actually transitioned to this very quickly, and we've also been very proud of the accomplishments he's made. He has passed his class 1 license. He just needs that experience before it becomes official.
Very good.
Good.
All right.
I have one more.
Okay.
In front of your seats, I just wanted to explain, I had completed the sunshine law training as a designee of the board. I was not able to print up a certificate showing who I designated, but I can assure you that I did designate each of you as those who I was representing.
Okay. Gregory KK Urinich.
I just saw that. I have Kenneth twice in my middle name now, I guess.
Okay, well. All right, now let's go on to the member reports and miscellaneous. Any members with reports and miscellaneous? Well, I did, as you all know, for my part, did do the preparation of the performance review, which the board will take up for Mr. Monroe. The board will take up an executive session, and you know, that was my external contribution for the month. I don't have anything else. Okay, so that's it for member reports miscellaneous. Mr. Zimmerman has departed. Is there anyone on? Oh, that would be part of your,
Oh,
okay, your report then.
okay, one more item.
One more, going back a step, to, CUO report.
So we had a resident reach out to us with some concerns about the condition of their driveway. They had stated that they had experienced a rapid degradation of their driveway apron and sidewalk over the last 3 to 5 months. Obviously, anytime there is a complaint like this, if it's stated that it is because of our infrastructure, you know, we are going to fully research this. So we went back and looked, just at Google Street View, just because they have historical photos on there. We went and viewed. This was the 2026 photo. You can see a section that.
Where are we at? Where is this?
We're not identifying the person. at
Oh,
our address
okay, I
right
just
now, but
wondered where we were.
just as a general item that we may
I'm
have
sorry,
to
yeah,
address in the
okay.
future.
Would like to state that there is a sewer manhole to the left of the apron.
Mhm.
in
Is that what the
corner.
green looking thing is
Correct.
there?
No, like
Behind-
behind the shadow, right in the corner by the mailbox,
What's the sidewalk?
right right there at the.
Oh, I got you, okay.
Yeah. I think that's just a shadow
Yeah, yeah.
on the.
So this picture was taken by Google in April of 26. Going back, this is from August of 23. And it just kind of shows that there has obviously been some deterioration going on for a longer period of time. The kind of heave in the sidewalk is definitely still present there.
Mhm.
This goes all the way back to 2013. Same depression in the one section of sidewalk, and there's still that same cracking in the driveway apron. So we had sent our crews out with the camera truck to take some internal pictures of both the sewer line and the manhole. They also took similar pictures when they had arrived. This is the inside of the sewer, looking, I believe, south from the manhole. The entire sewer line is perfectly intact. We did not observe any signs of leakage where potentially any soil could be washing away into the sewer.
Mhm.
Looking in the opposite direction, once again, also intact. And then looking down into the manhole, there were no signs of the concrete manhole failing in any way that would allow for soil from this individual's yard to wash into the sewer. Based off of all the investigations that we've done, we don't feel that our infrastructure has contributed to any of the issues with the sidewalk or the driveway apron. Home was originally built in 1974. The resident did not inform us when the sidewalk was put in, but we definitely feel like it's an older section of concrete, and we don't see anything at this point that we were contributing to that.
Okay. When did, if ever, have we ever gone onto this property across his driveway or anything like that?
We did not have any record of any work performed by our organization since the sewers were installed.
Okay, so during sewer separation or anything, we didn't do anything here. Was been no water line replacement going on here, so I wonder what would the owner have to say, how he identifies this as being a utilities related problem.
I'm thinking just the location of the manhole
Mhm.
itself was.
Thought.
Well, I think Mr. Urin had stated, if you go back to the picture of the surface, current picture of the surface. He stated that that manhole is not in any way subsiding. However, the driveway apron, which I've had to replace my driveway apron in my 30-year-old house. And that's common in this area, I think due to the action of frost heave and so on. But it does look like it's in fairly bad condition, but barring any evidence that the utility was involved in it, I believe that's the responsibility of the homeowner, is it not?
Correct.
And I don't see where utilities gets involved. It looks like the sinking sidewalk panel that I see there appears to have, there's been some effort to create ramps or something like that. In my 30-year-old house, I've had the sidewalk, slab jacked, to bring it up. It's just like the nature of the type of thing. They don't, well, builders don't typically spend a lot of time, compacting under these surface concrete structures, and I'd say that's an inherent flaw of this property. I don't know where the board enters into it. Do you?
I do not.
Anyone on the board have any thoughts on that? Mr. Mondello, you're a homeowner. What if you had that? Would you call utilities for it?
Not necessarily. Just
Well, like I said,
seems,
if we had done work there recently, then I would say, yeah, I believe that, but I don't know what it could be. Your
I
sewer
think-
seems in perfect condition, and the manhole seems to be perfectly at grade where it should be. I mean, I don't know.
Think frost heave and
Pardon me?
ground movement with frost heave is probably.
Yeah, well, I mean, who knows how thick it is? You don't make your apron 6 inches, 4 inch. It's just not gonna stand up to even like, a trash truck or something. Running on it, and I did have one of the trash trucks ran across I'm on a cul-de-sac, like cut a cord across it during the winter when they couldn't see where the street limits were because of all the snow. And so I have some big tire marks that didn't cause anything to fail, but anything like that could have happened here, where somebody rode on it, backed into the driveway with a big truck. I don't know. Well, in case that comes up before the board, you have a picture of it, and we'll try to communicate with the owner what the board's view is, unless somebody has a different view than I'm expressing, but I don't see anything.
Well, I can understand the homeowner, like questioning, could this be a possible cause? And we went out and looked at it and it's determined that it's not. So, I mean, I don't think that, there's anything wrong with asking, is there something wrong with the structure below the street, but in cameraing it and looking at it, it's clearly not the issue. So, I mean,
The street
think there's
itself looks all right. I mean,
yeah,
typical of Avon Lake, the joint in the street is getting bigger and bigger. And the city came and put some kind of tar, sealant in there, but the street doesn't appear to be failing there either.
yeah, no.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Urinich. We did want to hear a report since the owner did reach out to me as, he's not getting satisfaction from the staff. And this is the last appeal type of thing that we have in this board, and the board, I don't think, sees any particular involvement with this.
I will pass that along.
Okay. All right, next item is public input. As I said, Mr. Zimmerman has exited. Is there any public input?
There is not, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so we do have a request for an executive session. Mr. Rush, will you do the honors of making the motion?
Yes, prior to making that motion, I will say the board does not anticipate any formal action upon reconvening the public meeting. I move to meet an executive session as allowed by Ohio Revised Code Section 121.22 G1 to discuss the compensation of a public employee.
Thank you, Mr. Rush. Is there a second?
A second.
Second by Mrs. Schnabel. We'll do a roll call vote. Mr. Ricky?
Yes.
Mr. Mondello?
Yes.
Mrs. Schnabel?
Yes.
Mr. Rush?
Yes.
Chairman votes yes. We will go into executive session. when the room is cleared. Who are we gonna have in the executive session, Mr. Urinich? Just the board?
Just the board.
Okay, Mr. Coyne will not be updating us on anything?
No.
Okay. All right. Then thank you all for coming. Thank you, out in the, computer world for watching our meeting, if you've done that, and, we will go back into executive session at, let's say, 7:30, so everybody can get a break if they need to, and, we will have no further action after we adjourn the executive session. Thank you, gentlemen.